Right, here we go. Alright lads, I'm Symmetry. So let's talk about this. I appreciate that not a lot of you who watch this filth I call a channel are speedrunners, so I'm going to try a bit of an ad-lib video here. I hope that it's coherent and serves to give further context to why I do what I do. This is a speedrun breakdown live, and it starts with one of my favourite runs, Hammer vs Gold Rathian. Now this is the point of the run where the script runs out, so let's just start from the beginning. We're going to go through it bit by bit and see what's what. First things first, you will notice Phaline Booster is activated. That was actually a lucky guess. I do not eat for Phaline Booster a lot of the time on my my speedruns. So we come down. Previously what I used to do is do a Might Seed and roll to cancel the final animation after the buff was given. However, in this case, I do a Dung Pod that can be cancelled way earlier into using the rope lift. After that, I believe we do the seed and then the powder, the Might Seed and the Demon Powder. But let's just double check, shall we? Okay, so we're down, Dung Pod, and you can see how early you cancel the Dung Pod from there. We're just using my YouTube video at this point. We roll, we do Might Seed from the radio menu, we keep our cursor on the Demon Powder. Now with radio menu I prefer to do the cardinal directions, I find it easier. Now here, just before the music kicks off, I fire a Dung Pod at this ledge here. You see how Gold Rathian's head is poked towards the left here? If left unattended, her head will go back to neutral, and then she will turn back around to the left, away from me. I actually want to draw her head towards me to be able to clutch claw onto it. Reason being is that that leaves more openness for me to triple slap the head before she roars. The first engaging roar, and after the triple slap, the rage roar, are two very big opportunities that you can use to set yourself up. Because with this setup that I'm using, eating for Phaline Slugger, and bringing a maxed out damage set that we'll look at a little bit later, allows me to use two uppercuts to KO her. And that's a huge time save and stops her from running around very early in the run. Now, I need to draw her head towards me with this Dung Pod. I do so if I triple slap as fast as I can, then just to explain beforehand, if you watch your stamina bar after the third slap, I wait for it to slightly go down, very slightly, minusculely go down. And then I do the Tenderizing Attack. The reason I do that is that I get the Tenderize off, but I am still airborne for when Gold Rathian roars, so I get less knockback. So if we look at this, pod goes down, clutch claw into the head, slap. You see the map is still grey at this point. 2, and then 3, and then we wait and we wait and we wait and we wait for it to ever so slightly go down. We hit and we're still in the air, so we get this reduced knockback. Wonderful. So I charge up my hammer here. Preemptively charging your hammer is brilliant because if you roll the roar, you still get the charge of the hammer. Don't have to waste time charging it up again. Roll, 1, 2. Often with hammer, you get to the point where you can phonetically count these things and you learn how to deal with them. I'm actually going to just put the quality up here because I didn't realize that I had done that before. It's just a mess of pixels at this point. Okay, so we got a bit of bad luck here. We got our uppercut in, yes. So she's 2 uppercuts away, but she's gone airborne. What do we do about that? Well, we're not going to be able to dunk her out the sky with damage, so we're just going to have to hope that she presents her head later on for a KO opportunity. Here we go. Oh, and would you look at that? That single move right there, if we just go back ever so slightly, is the friendliest move that an airborne Gold Rathian can do. So let's check it out again. So we get the uppercut, we roll, and then we charge again, ready for the uppercut. That slow-moving attack has a very small hitbox, and her head stays down for a long amount of time. One of the main things about Gold Rathian, especially with hammer or high-impact weapons, I suppose, Charge Blade, Greatsword, Hunting Horn even at some point, is that dunking her out of the sky is a very important thing. Now, we'll take a moment to explain why that is. If Gold Rathian gets dunked due to a KO, she stays down for the same amount of time she would be if she fell over on the ground due to a KO. However, if Gold Rathian went down due to just damage and didn't get stunned, she stays down for, I think, 2 head cycles longer. I think it's 2 head cycles, I could be wrong, but it is definitely longer than a normal KO dunk. So this whole run, this 2 minutes 30 Gold Rathian hammer run, revolves around doing that. So let's keep looking, shall we? We get a dunk off of this, right? Boom. And because she's in rage mode, we have agitator uptime. Now, when she goes down due to a KO dunk, you either if you are close to her head, you have enough time for a side hit that you can use to skip the first pound of the triple pound, and then a big bang combo. But because we had all this arsing around, if we just go back ever so slightly, because we had all of this arsing around. So watch how she dunks, and we've extended forward. So we have to roll to the side and move slightly to her head. We only have enough time for a big bang combo. Okay? So we just go through that. Usual stuff. It's literally just mashing circle at this point. Okay. So now, Gold Rathian here is doing the side bite into double bite combo. Often in rage mode, she can cancel this into the triple fireball. I believe she does it here, where she jumps back into a triple fireball. The triple fireball is the most important positioning to learn for this run. But to explain why, what happens is when she does the triple fireball in rage mode only, not hellfire mode, she will fire forward, to her right, and then instead of firing to her left, like she does outside of rage mode or sometimes in hellfire mode, she'll do a flip. Now this flip is absolutely paramount. She stays airborne for a tiny little bit if she manages to do a stationary flip, which is where she flips directly towards you, or if she doesn't run towards you. Basically, if Gold Rathian doesn't run towards you for a flip, there's a small window of opportunity where you can dunk her from it using a hammer level 3 charge. Now, you can script this. If you move close and towards Gold Rathian when she's doing this triple fireball combo, especially in rage mode, she's pretty much guaranteed to do a flip of some sort instead of the final fireball. So we move towards her to get this. Now, we also use Coalescence in this set. I believe it's Coalescence 3. It might be 2. We use some level of Coalescence. It becomes useful because of this setup. So if we go back into it, so she does the bite, stops, jumps back. So you see where we're positioned kind of 45 degrees to her left leg while she does it. So she goes forward, left, and then flip. Forward, left, and then here. That's the stationary flip right there. That's the stationary one you want to watch out for. So boom, stay still, release, and bonk. Dunk. Head broken dunk. So now we're doing way more damage. Now, she has gone down at this point due to a damage dunk, not a KO dunk. So as we said before, she stays down for longer. This is why I'm doing the triple pound rather than the big bang, because I know I can get away with it before she gets back up. So let's keep going. 1, 2, 3. Now you see Coalescence is activated here, so if you have Blight Res level 2, which I believe I'm using on this set, you get a level of Coalescence activate basically during this entire combo. And this set that I'm using, we'll go over it at the end, but it is a mix of Safi, a 2-piece Fatalis, and 3-piece Safi. So we can actually find it very easy to get 3 levels of Coalescence, or actually, I could be wrong, I think it is a couple of levels, maybe 1. But some levels of Coalescence with Blight Resistance too. And you notice pretty much without rolling, we can get Coalescence to activate very, very easily, alongside Resentment, of course. Very risky, but if you're going for a quote-unquote perfect run like I've tried here, then it's very important. This final KO was very lucky, so we just simply roll to the side and we do a big bang again. Like so. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Now here is the one and only mistake of the run, right? So, if Gold Rathian does a flip in rage mode from standing still, she will always do a second one. She might reposition, but your main task here is to either, if you can get a lucky uppercut, go for it. The safest strat to do here is to do a clutch claw attack and then tenderize again. It really doesn't matter about the tenderize, since pretty much all hammer runs against Gold Rathian should be shooting for sub 3, so that is one tenderize and that's it. But it does help with a dunk. We actually don't get it here, so we have to sort of improvise, and we get a bit lucky with her AI later on. So watch. Clutch. And then tenderize. Normally we'd expect a dunk here, but we don't get it. So she flies down. That's another waste of time. Ideally, I believe before I got 224 on this run, it could go way lower. And I think she jumps back and she does the flip again. So we reposition ourselves. Again, if she hadn't done the bite, if she hadn't done anything like that, we would have been able to get her dunked earlier. But it's just how it rolls sometimes. This patch of fire, perfect for activating Fire Blight, perfect for getting your Coalescence proc off. Okay? Now, actually, one very, very, very tiny thing I do want to point out here is if we look at it very slowly, right? So she does this flip, right? You see the point that her tail is at? We imagine it like a 45-degree sort of arc going the same way that my mouse is going. So start, round, and then behind her to finish, yeah? Like so. If we imagine it like that, the damage pretty much stops about here. Like up here in the top of the screen by the health bar. If we imagine in older games where she'd do a flip and then sometimes her tail will come back around, pardon me, if her tail comes back around and it will hit you again with the same amount of damage, her damage stops, yeah, sort of around about here-ish. So that means that you can use the hitbox of this tail to slightly push you out of frame. You may notice Cassandra here get pushed back slightly, which is actually into perfect position for a dunk, so check this shit out. Right. Boom, right in the face. Perfect. So because she got dunked by damage again, we're going for the triple pound. 2 and 3. And then we go for the big bang. Easy. If you don't see stars around their head right after the dunk, you go for the triple pound. Now, here is very important. We actually get a clagger here. Now, claggers, previously what Hammer would do is do an uppercut into the L2 attack to clutch onto the head and re-up the tenderize. Hammer's a very good weapon for tenderizing in single player because you can do it so easily and get a lot of damage out of it. However, here we go for burst damage, so I charge up a level 3 instead. Okay. We just let that shit go, bonk, and then hey, we get the KO. And at this point, her fate is sealed. We just go for a normal big bang, and I believe right at the end, that should be it. Done and dusted, bonk, and she's down. Okay, wonderful, and that is 2 minutes 30 on Gold Rathian with Hammer TA rules. Now here is the set. We're using the Fatalis Demolisher, augmented for attack, affinity, and element status effect up. Some people may prefer to use the with a setup like this, the defense augment at the end, but this is probably, I believe, the most optimal shit you can do. Fatalis Demolisher, the best hammer, pretty much, as far as I know. I don't think there's anything that really tops it. And as you can see here, we have attack maxed out, we have agitator maxed out. Now we have minus 10 with the affinity augment for the hammer, plus critical eye level 6, so that's plus 20, plus the plus the 20% from the Safi armor, plus the 5% from attack boost, gets us up to 45% before agitator activates. So we're at a pretty reliable critical level for this. Crit boost, Wex, of course, to make up the rest of that affinity. Handicraft 3, because we have it. It was Coalescence 3, right? So Coalescence here provides a massive boost. 1 level of evade window just to make things a little bit more comfy, and 2 levels of blight resistance to make Coalescence here. Coalescence, you have a massive attack and element boost, but blight resistance makes it ridiculously easy to activate. If anything, I would say that health augment to peak performance is what blight resistance 2 is to coalescence. Okay, and I mean, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what we went for here. Went for the classic, you know, the Furious Monkey Cassandra art that Ramikar had. And yeah, that's basically my thought process behind this Gold Rathian run. This is what went into it, what decided I do what I do. It's been an ad-lib one, which I don't think I've done an ad-lib video before, and it's gone on very long. So might just upload this raw and see what you guys think about it. Be kind to each other, and hey, wait for it. Check out this fucking pose. Hell yeah. I always have to get like the Monster Hunter equivalent of like a white dad with his biggest fish of the day. Look at that shit. Look how beautiful that looks. All right, cool. See you all later. Good night.